and welcome back to the 7 Trading Secrets. My name is Jeremy Whaley. I'm your host, and we're continuing to work through these secrets of trading that will make you so much better that the professionals don't even want you to know them, because you're not going to need the professionals once you learn these incredible secrets. Now, in this particular secret, we're going to get into secret number 4, which is know your location. Know your location. Now, that might sound a little bit weird. What do I mean by know your location? Well, have you ever been lost in the woods? Ever been out there, like you're walking through the woods and you can't seem to figure out which way you're going because everywhere you turn, all you see are trees. Has this ever happened to you? We bought some land a little while back, and right after I bought the land, I decided I was going to walk around the perimeter of the property and, see this new acquisition that I had purchased. Well, I started walking, and before I knew it, I was actually lost on my own property because I couldn't see any reference other than the trees themselves. And so I actually got my phone out, and I was like trying to track with the GPS on my phone, where was I? And where I finally ended up was a totally different piece of the property. I'm still not even sure how I got to that piece of property because I was lost in the woods. I was literally lost in the woods. You know what's crazy about when you're lost in the woods? What's crazy about it is all we need to do sometimes is to zoom out just a little bit, and we can realize that, wow, there's a road, there's a pathway. And for most people, that's what they're looking for in the market. Most people are just looking for the pathway, but they're looking in the wrong spot. For some people, if they would just turn around, they would realize there's the road right there. If they could just zoom out just a little bit. And sometimes we need to zoom way out. Sometimes we just zoom way, way, way out, and we realize that, wow, turns out we thought we were lost in the woods, and we were actually right next to the water. We were right next to maybe a major pathway. Most people don't fail to pick winning stocks because they're incompetent. That's just the reality. Most people fail to pick winning stocks because they lack perspective. This is such a valuable lesson that I kind of even need to slow down and let that sink in. People don't fail to pick winning stocks because they're incompetent. They fail because they lack perspective. That means for many people, the difference in making money and not making money is not about new shiny strategies. It's not about the hot new stock that's, going to go from $10 to $100. It's not about any of that stuff that's so distracting. The difference that makes the difference for so many people that would make the difference is to simply get perspective. So let me show you a couple of examples here, and maybe I can drive this principle home. This is a stock chart right here, and if you look at this chart, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that trade looks a little scary. I mean, it's run up, and now it's coming down, and if you're like most people looking at this trade, it looks a little bit scary. It looks like it's going to crash, right? Well, you wouldn't be wrong if you're like most people. It looks like it's going to crash. But what if we zoom out just a little bit? Take the same trade and let's just zoom out a little bit, and there's a little bit of perspective. Now we see that this is actually a bullish trend that is maybe reversing, or maybe it's a bullish trend that might continue a little bit, but it's certainly a lot different than when you're zoomed in so close that that's all you can see. And yet that's what most people do. You'd be shocked at how many people I get onto a Zoom call with to do some private one-on-one coaching, and when they pull up their charts, they're looking at the first example. They're looking so close that there's no way they can get any perspective. When the reality is on this stock, on this trade, even this picture that you're looking at is way too close to really get a perspective. We need to zoom way, way out. And then you realize, wow, this is actually a bullish trend that just totally gives you a whole new buying opportunity because it just pulled back and now it's actually ready to continue to the next wave. Wow. A little perspective tells a big difference, doesn't it? A little bit of perspective. I'll tell you a personal story on this. Back in 1999, a little bit after my first trade where I lost some money, I decided to trade a little stock called Cubist Pharmaceuticals. Now, Cubist Pharmaceuticals was at the time only trading for about $7 a share. And I didn't have a big trading account, but I had enough, had a little over $2,000 in my trading account. And I was really excited about this particular stock. And I was excited because I'd seen some people talk about it and they kind of pumped it up. And this is in the middle of the dot-com boom, so pretty much everything was going up. And now you have to understand at that time, we didn't have cell phones the way we have them today. We couldn't trade from our phone. I didn't have a laptop. I was actually still in college, and the only access to the computer I had to get to my trades was actually in the college computer lab. And so between my classes, I would like run to the lab and I'd log into my trading account. And I was trading with a little broker called Sure Trade at the time. And if I remember, I think we were paying $9 per commission for that. Today we'd love to have a $9 commission, but back then those were really cheap, and we were like, "Oh, this is so great." Those, the early days of online brokers. And so I had bought this stock, Cubist Pharmaceuticals, and I bought it for about $7.85 a share, roughly in that price. Maybe it was $7.75 or something like that. And this was my first time that I actually traded with margin. Now, if you've never traded with margin, then you probably don't know some of the pitfalls of margin. I certainly didn't. I had just heard about it. But here's the bottom line. Whenever you trade with margin, you can get twice the buying power. So, I put up the money for 100 shares, but I got 200 shares, and I was all proud of myself. Here I'm trading on margin. I'm really trading some pharmaceuticals. I mean, these are going to be really big, right? And so, I placed this trade, and I'm in a total excitement about it. And I watch the trade, I go to class, I come back, and it's up a little bit. It's up to like 8:15, 8:30. And I'm like, oh, yes, that's it. This is going to be really, really big. And of course, I had 200 shares, so it was really starting to move, and I had a couple $100 profit. Then I go to another class, and the stock's down to like $7.40. And then I'm kind of freaking out. I go to another class. Well, the bottom line is I between classes and all this stuff, eventually I sold, and I sold at a loss. And the loss was big enough that it messed up my ability to trade on margin. Okay. Now, fast forward just a little bit. This was in like maybe October of that year, roughly. It might have been September. I can't quite remember, but it was in the fall of 1999. And just after I finally sold out and I wiped out my account because I lost all this money on margin, and it was all because of an emotional decision, literally by Christmas of that year. So within 2 or 3 months, this stock that I had 200 shares at less than $8 a share was trading at over $30 a share. This stock went up by a factor of 200%. Like, it totally blew the lid off. And it was actually a great trade. In fact, it went on. Eventually, this company was acquired by Merck for over $100 a share. And I owned a couple hundred shares at less than $8 a share. But of course, I missed out on all that. While some people made a ton of money, I blew an account out. And that was the first trading account that I'd ever blown out. I went on to blow out a couple other trading accounts because I didn't know some of these secrets. But that was the first one that I ever blew out. And later, in hindsight, what I discovered is I freaked out because I was zoomed in. I was zoomed in too much. All I was looking at was that intraday movement. I was looking at like a 5-minute chart, and I couldn't see the perspective of where the trend was going. I couldn't see the perspective of the stock. And if I could have just zoomed out and seen the perspective, instead of losing my account and actually going broke, I could have actually made 3 times the amount of money I put into the trade. That's the difference. That's the value of getting some perspective. And this is a really valuable lesson. It's something I learned early on. Actually, I didn't really learn the lesson until maybe another 2 years when I finally learned the lesson. But once I understood this lesson, I never forgot it, because what I learned is we always want to take a really, really big picture so that we can see the complete perspective, and then we can zoom in. There's nothing wrong with zooming in, but you need to know your location. You have to understand where you are in the big picture so that we don't find ourselves fighting the trend, so that we don't find ourselves trying to place that bearish trade in a bullish trend, trying to place the bullish trade in a bearish trend, fighting the market, fighting the momentum, power versus force, the same stuff we talked about in secret number 4. Secret number three, excuse me. The same stuff we talked about in yesterday's video. So you don't find yourself doing that. One of the secrets is to zoom out. This is so valuable. And sometimes it's not just, 6 months. It might be a year or 2 or 3 or 4 before you can really see the full perspective of the trade. But once you zoom out and once you have that full perspective of the trade, now you can come back in, you can be more surgical about it. And I promise this is going to be one of those secrets that absolutely will help you be such a much better quality trader, okay? So that is the concept of knowing your location. Zoom out. Don't get so narrow focused that you can't see the forest because of the trees. Don't get so narrow focused that you can't see the road that's right behind you because you didn't turn around and look at it, or you can't see the complete path because you just simply didn't zoom out enough. All right? That's secret number 4. And secret number 5 is coming up. You're going to absolutely love it. But you know what? This is it for now. So maybe review the video if you need to, and I'll see you on the other side. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this video, and I hope you get a lot out of all of my videos. I hope you're watching all of them. But before we move on, I want to invite you personally to join the Pick Winning Stocks Challenge. This is a fantastic challenge that I've put together. It's 21 days. It'll change your trading career. How's it going to do that? Well, first of all, I'm going to teach you how to pick the direction of the trade. So you always know which trade direction the stock is going. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going to go sideways? I'll teach you how to figure that out. I'm also going to show you exactly how to apply the right strategy at the right time. And then I'm going to turn around and show you exactly how to manage your risk as well as how to write your trading plan. The absolutely perfect trading plan. I'll show you all this stuff. I'm going to teach you how to choose a stock. Some stocks are good to trade, some stocks are not. I'm going to show you how to do all that. In other words, it's everything that you need so you can pick a winning stock. And isn't that the outcome? Isn't that the whole purpose of coming to the stock market, so that you can learn how to pick a winning stock so you can buy it and you can sell it and make a profit? That's kind of the idea, right? This is a 21-day challenge. That means 21 days from right now. 21 days. That's 3 weeks. That's it. Just 3 weeks. 3 weeks from right now, you can have all these questions and a whole lot more answered in the 21-day Pick Winning Stocks Challenge. All you need to do is click the link below, get yourself enrolled, get yourself signed up, and get started immediately. For most of you, this is the next step on your journey. So go ahead and get yourself signed up for the Pick Winning Stocks Challenge. I know you're going to absolutely love it. And as always, if you want to learn some more, all you need to do, get yourself subscribed, subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is that you want to try to follow me. Just follow me there, and even just go to my website at trademaestro.com. Click below the links right here. We got the links to the website, got some links to other resources, all great stuff, lots and lots of cool stuff out there. So go check it all out, and I look forward to sharing it with you. And until next time, happy trading.